Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. What is happening here, everybody? Hope everybody is having a great day. There I be. So, we are back live and living color, as it were. Happy Friday to you, one and all. We're coming to you today an hour earlier than usual here on the East Coast because I got stuff to do immediately after the show today. And speaking of immediately after the show, immediately after we stop here, if you will cruise on over to my Facebook page, okay, I'm going to give you a reveal of next week's episode of my new podcast, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. We dropped that sucker this week. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud of it. And I hope you guys have subscribed and downloaded and have enjoyed the first episode. So, yes, immediately after the show today, kick on over to my Facebook page. It won't be on Wrestling Rumors, okay, if you're interested. And I will give you the subject of next week's show. So, good friend of mine, Greg Ramsey, he and I have both worked extremely hard on this thing to get this thing up and running. So, hopefully, you guys will be into it. And again, if you've not listened, please do so. It's absolutely free podcast, just like here on the Wrestling Rooms. We don't charge a thing for it. All I want your downloads, man. I just want your downloads and your feedback. That's all I'm asking for. I'm one of those content creator guys that tend to get on your nerves, right? Always asking for stuff. But I'm not asking for any cash, man. Okay, so just your time and attention is always much appreciated. Let's throw some stuff up on the screen today. There's our ticker. There it is, kids. It's pretty, right? This is episode number 190. You would know that already. Excuse me. Provided you have looked in the episode's description. So yes, we are 10 episodes away. Shut up from 200. To be honest with you, this is actually 191 or 192, I think. So I may go back and alter the count because I did a couple episodes that I did not number because I considered those like special editions. So I'm going to go back and do a count again and check my host and see where we go from there. But you may be seeing episode 200 sooner than usual. And to be honest with you, I'm going to jazz that sucker up. We're going to do new music, new graphics, the whole nine. I'm psyched. Can you tell? I geek out over this stuff, man. I cannot help it. Let's say our good mornings. Let's say our hellos. Sandy, what's up in Germany? How you doing, my friend? Roseanne, thank you for hanging out. Ronnie, Bobby, what's going on? Hello, David in Australia. David in Down Under. What's up, Keith? Mohit Sony. Yeah, is that your name, bro? Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Christopher always likes to announce that he's here. So, yeah. Bobby says he signed up to be on SmackDown Virtual. Well done, man. We'll be looking for you. Doing good, Bit. Hope you're doing well today. Shane, I'm sorry to hear your news, brother. I empathize with your loss, my friend. Most definitely. All the best to you and your family, man. Marcus asked me what I'm most excited about to this. Am I excited? Nah. I'm not going to discount it. We'll talk about the card. I don't know if I'm excited about any of it, if I'm being just totally honest with you. So, Carlos, what's going on? Hello, Miss Lopez. Yes, I'm on early today, Carlos. I made the announcement last night, and I've sent a couple minors today. I got stuff to do immediately after the show. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm Tom Clark. This is the Main Event. And immediately after the show today, if you will kick over to my Facebook page, Not Wrestling Rumors, I'm going to do a episode 2 reveal for next week's my new podcast, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. So I'm really excited about that. The Main Event, we're getting ready to hit 200. I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of it, to be honest with you. A lot of hard work went into this show. It does all the time, but a lot of hard work went into the other podcasts as well. So I'm anxious to one day hit number 200 on that as well. So there you go. Man, I'm sounding like crap today, aren't I? My apologies. So Mohita says, Can Edge will be returning at SummerSlam? Brother, I have no idea. If he's been medically cleared, sure. I don't know that for sure, though. We'll see. Danny in the Bronx, what's up? Thanks for hanging out, man. Carlos, you got here, bro. You got here. Christopher, we will talk about a lot of the stuff today in the open floor at the end of the show, but we can address this real quick if you want. What do you think about Shane taking over as head writer and replacing Bruce Pritchard? That's the rumor. Can I be honest with you? It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I mean, it's how I feel. At the end of the day, you could put Stephen King on storylines, okay? I mean, you could put Charles Dickens on storylines. You could put insert famous author here. It won't make a difference. It's just not going to make a difference because as long as Vince has the final say, you're going to get the company version of what you're going to get Vince's version of what he wants you to see from the company. Okay. Guys, this company has trolled us 6 ways from Sunday. They do it all the time. They insult our intelligence all the time. And as I've said to you multiple times here on the show and in private conversations, I don't wish that company ill will. I don't wish any of the talent ill will or any of the crew for that matter. There's some really, really good people inside that company. But the decisions that come from the top down, silly, just nonsense. I'm just calling like I see it. Not to discount what you're saying. It's just my opinion, okay? So, what's up, Ray? What's going on? Lena, hey, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I don't know. Honestly, I've got the app. If I've got the Funko app that values it, it gives you estimated value of your collection. And as you can see, I've got a couple of shelves left until I run out of shelves again. Then you know what's going to happen. I might have to seriously look at this deal. I mean, I've only got so much wall space, and I'm going to have to really be honest with myself about this collection and say maybe the time has come to knock out a wall and put up another wall. Because the pops aren't going anywhere, okay? Believe that. So, Shane, breaking news. I didn't know this about Buff, man. Buff was in a car crash. Man, all the best to Buff, and good Lord, let's hope he comes through this okay. My goodness, I had no idea. All right, folks, let's get to the show. By the way, if you're just listening to the podcast after the fact and you're not watching here live on Wrestling Rumors Facebook, what's wrong with you, man? This is where the cool kids hang out, bro, okay? Look at me. I'm the whitest guy you've ever seen. Every time I go live, I'm just reminded of how white I really am. It's the truth, man. It's absolute truth. I'm as vanilla as they come, baby. So, yeah. As I say, only in complexion, not in my politics. Believe that. Trust me, okay? All right, folks, let's do this. AEW is bringing fans back. Let's kick this sucker off and get everybody mad at each other. You want to? I kid, I joke, I tease, relax. I don't want anybody mad at each other. I'm getting ready to watch Io Shirai on my TV. I can't be mad if I see Io on TV. You know why? Because she's awesome. She's awesome. Shut up. Love this girl. You kidding me? So yes, let's talk about this, man. What do you think? What do you think about AEW bringing fans back? Let's take a look at this, shall we? All Elite Wrestling has announced it will host limited ticketed crowds of 10 to 15% capacity for its live shows at the open-air Daily's Place Amphitheater in Jacksonville, Florida, starting on Thursday, August 27th. To safely bring back the energy of a live audience in AEW shows, in compliance with state and local regulations and CDC guidelines, a select number of physically distanced seating pods they're calling them, will be available for sale in group of 2, 3, and 4, and 6 around the outdoor venue. So here's the latest on the ticketed sales. They started this morning at 10 o'clock. We are already getting terrible, terrible complaints about this deal. Someone is calling it reckless behavior in the times of COVID-19, and someone else had another opinion on that. So AEW continues to have the same problem that a lot of other entertainment companies, bands and whatnot, continue to have. And the issue is that scalpers are buying up these seats and selling them at higher prices. And someone, sent in a screenshot of tickets like $257, $400 for a group, like a pod of seats. I mean, dude, shut up. What are we doing here? Do you know what I'm saying? What is going on? Here's what I would say in regards to the AEW ticket situation. And this is not just for this. This is for AEW in general. They run into this all the time. from day one this company went live. And before, they have had this issue. Okay? Enough's enough. And listen, I'm not saying there's a magic button to press. Maybe there's not. I'm not saying that Cody or the Bucks or anyone even Tony Khan can do anything about it. I don't know if they can. But at some point, how do you not address this? How do you not address this? How are you not on top of this? Is there even a way to stop it? See, I don't. You know what I mean? Something's got to give here, because what you're doing, whether you know it or not, whether you mean to or not, you're creating ill will with the fan base. That is one of the major, major concerns over this company, and criticisms from fans and non-fans alike, is that, bro, you're killing me on these tickets. So is it their fault? I'm not saying it is. Please don't take it that way. But what I am saying is, it seems to me from where I'm sitting that something could be done by now. They need to address this. It's got to be addressed, man. So yeah, I don't get it. I mean, as someone has pointed out, they need to be non-transferable, non-resellable. And that would hopefully take care of the problem. But here's the issue. Have they done it yet? No, they have not. It's ridiculous. Carlos says just put 2 tickets per person. I totally agree with you. For everyone asking about SummerSlam, we're going to get there. I promise you. Hang tight. Hang tight. This show's broken down by topics. I promise you SummerSlam's a topic. For all you WWE cats out there, no worries. I promise you we'll get there, okay? I promise. Look at me. I have a very trusting face. So, Mo Heat, my friend, please hang on. I promise you we'll get there, okay? Shane says it has to start sometime. Good news for AEW to me. Shane brings up an interesting point. We're not going to spend all day on this, but I want to get your feelings on this. And Christopher says, very reckless. Bro, you're entitled to your opinion, my friend. Absolutely entitled to your opinion. Chad says it's about time we need to see Anna Jay and her beauty. Well, there you go. Let's see. Okay, so here's the deal about this. On one hand, Christopher says it's reckless. I happen to agree. On the other hand, Shane says you got to start sometime. I happen to agree. You want to know why I agree? Because I'm part of a pro wrestling company. I'm in the management part of a pro wrestling company. I want to bring our show back. I can't wait to get back to our shows. But if you think I'm going to go and not be safe, you're crazy. By the way, big shout out to Gary Benfield today, a brother, a great friend, family. He's the owner and promoter of High Velocity Wrestling. If you guys have never followed HW on the Facebook or on anywhere else, please. I'm the social media director for that company. No, we've not had lots of posts in the past several months, man. Honestly, it's been a tough road to hoe for us. It is what it is, right? We need to be safe. I want us to be safe. But to Shane's point, what are we supposed to do? Just not do anything in terms of a normal life again? I'm the first guy and the last guy to preach safety. I'm the first guy and last guy to preach. If you don't need to go somewhere, don't go. Why are you hanging out with 200 friends or 20 friends or whatever? Is there a point to this? So I can see the point of view from, everyone calling this move reckless. I can totally see that. So let's see. Sandy says this could go wrong. Good or go wrong. We just have to wait and see. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Well said, Sandy. That's going to bring us on. All right, so let's talk about the Thunderdome. Because I know you wanna. Shut up. So we're going to get you a pic of this sucker. Hold tight here. La 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 la. Let's see. Yes. me right now. Let's try that again. There we are. Man, what happened? Crazy. Unreal. Hey, man, I'm sorry, dude. All I was trying to do was show you the page. So guess what? You're not going to get to see it now. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so let's get on to the Thunderdome. I don't have a pick for you, but it's all good, yes. So, again, I'm not going to bring the pick up, but needless to say, it's a little funky, if I'm being totally honest with you. There are video screens set up. Look, if this matters to you, if it really matters to you to see digital faces in the quote-unquote crowd, more power to you. At this point, I don't know if I care about it anymore. I would have said before that I think maybe it matters to me, but honestly, at this point, to me, I just don't care. And listen, I would say the same thing if AW was doing it. Please don't take it that way. I just, I don't know if I need it now. And you can look the pictures up for yourself, man. I just don't. Do they need it? I don't know, dude. We'll see. Ms. Lopez, be safe. Good heavens. Take care of yourself. Thank you for dropping by. So, yes. Kev says, WWE has tapped your show. Kevin, my friend, you, sir, have won the No Prize for this week. It is in the mail. Be sure to check your box. Very good. Very good indeed. Yes, that's great stuff, man. So, yeah, again, do you care about the Thunderdome thing? I don't know. You're going to see it tonight. If you watch SmackDown, you're going to see it. You're going to see it Sunday at SummerSlam. You're not going to see it tomorrow night on TakeOver because TakeOver will still be from the Performance Center. So, again, do you care about this kind of thing? Does it matter to you? Does it not matter to you? Completely up to you, man. I mean, I can't answer those questions for you. It matters to them. And here's the lowdown, the money. Show me the money, okay? Because for an 8-week use of the venue, the word is it's almost $500,000. It's $450,000 for 8 weeks. Now, to me, that sounds excessive, considering that no one's there. But what do I know about prices of renting gigantic arenas? HVW runs, our venue is not quite as big. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about it. Listen, I'm honest with you guys all the time. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't tell you stuff that I don't believe, that I don't feel to be true. And if I don't know the answer, I'm honest with you. I've never come on here and proclaimed myself to be the know-all, end-all. I never proclaimed myself to be the expert on anything. I'm just telling you like I see it. I don't know how I feel about the Thunderdome thing yet. I guess here's my answer. I'll watch it and I'll find out and see how I feel about it for myself. Do you know what I mean? let's see how it goes. I think that's probably the best attitude to take is let's just wait and see. What's up, Brad in Minnesota? Go Vikes. Joshua says, I would rather live crowds. It gives an extra pop with live crowds. I agree with you, but I'll tell you this. Can you imagine how upset Vince McMahon must be today and yesterday, knowing that AEW is going to have fans back in the building? And all this guy's doing is putting up virtual fans and video screens. Ray says, rather watch paint dry than WWE. Shane says, Pyro will be back. We'll see. Shane says, I need to put more emphasis on the wrestling. Shane, from your lips to the ears of God, my friend. They just don't feel that that's what's going to get people to watch. They just don't. They feel that that's not going to get people to watch. They had another low rating. 4th lowest of all time, I think they said. I mean, you can blame COVID to a point, and a lot of people are. And most of those people are WWE supporters through and through. So, we'll see. Listen, for everyone out there asking me all kinds of randoms, please hold off to the end of the show. I promise you we'll get there. Hit me with all your randoms at the end, if you will. Just hang on, man. We only go an hour, so you got like 30 minutes left to, get to the randoms at the end, and then hit me with whatever you got, if you don't mind. Please and thank you, as CM Punk would say. Just say please and thank you. So, all right, folks, what about this little nugget right here? I always like to give you the ratings from 2 days ago. As we know, AEW did not run an event. Dynamite did not take place this past Wednesday night. Last week, NXT had 619,000 fans. This week, they had 853,000 fans. So we can see the tremendous bump there in numbers of fans because AEW Dynamite did not air. Now, Dynamite will air this Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Pretty sure it's 6 o'clock. And it will be an hour, like from 7 to 8, because I think TakeOver starts at 7, I believe. So you'll have to decide which one you're going to watch at that time, at least live anyway, right? So it's up to you which one you watch after the fact. But there are your ratings for this week. And again, Dynamite did not take place. Jamel, what's going on? Thanks for hanging out. No worries, man. Joshua says live crowds are what gets wrestlers over. I don't know about the way you worded it, but I see where you're coming from. And, of course, Ray is completely in the bag for Adam Cole. Hello, Belinda. What's going on? So here's the deal. I am not a McAfee guy. I don't really know why they think they need him so very much. I don't get it. I don't know if he's not really causing a bump in the ratings. I just don't get it. I don't get why NFL punter has to be included in this deal. Apparently he's living his dream. I mean, good on him. It's all good. I don't care. But I'll say this. His promo is pretty good. Even though he's a little odd, even cutting a promo, it's a little odd for me. Do you know what I mean? I can't really take him seriously as a tough guy. I can take Cole more seriously as a tough guy than I can McAfee. And Cole is half his size. I mean, well, not half, but basically, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can take him more seriously as a tough guy. Like, I don't know if I'd back up from McAfee. I'd probably back up from Cole. It's just the way he looks at you. McAfee looks harmless to me. That's just my opinion. But I'm looking at it in the context of a pro wrestling ring, not in the context of real life. Sandy says Orton has to punt. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? They're basically giving him Orton's, signature move there. So, all right, folks, let's get into these rundowns of the cards, shall we? Let's talk about TakeOver. Let's zip down these cards, and you tell me what you guys think. We've got Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher, regular singles match. Breezango versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Legado del Fantasma. Triple threat tag team match, determine number of contenders for NXT Tag Team Championships. This match is probably going to steal the show. I'm all about it. I like Legado del Fantasma. I dig that little click. I mean, I think it's good. I think it looks a lot like what they're doing in ROH with the Los Ingobernables faction, but that's just my take. I think this is probably the best match on the card. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. As we said before, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Regular match there. Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. Singles match for NXT Women's Championship. Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes versus Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream. Yikes. Ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Okay, so there's your TakeOver card. What are your thoughts on the TakeOver? What are your thoughts on the TakeOver? Chris, new champion already crowned. Cross is the new champion, he says. Chris, for goodness sake, man, are you dropping spoilers on my show? Is that what you're doing right now? Please don't drop spoilers. Guys, please don't do that. If you want to go get spoilers from somewhere, go get them from somewhere else, okay? And keep them to yourself, for goodness sake. There's no sense in that. Don't drop spoilers on my show again, bro, please, okay? You're taking the air out of the balloon, dude. It's not cool. It's not cool. Don't do that, please, okay? So, yeah. Key says, I want Bronson Reed to win. I like Bronson a lot, dude. I really do. He's won me over. I still stick by my initial word on Bronson, however, is that the best and biggest thing he could do is stay off the main roster because they're going to put a top hat on you and give you a cane and make you sing and dance because that's what they do with big guys on that show. I'm just saying. David said, call him Aussie. There you go, Dave. Good job, man. Aussie boy. Shane, I agree with you, my friend. Can't believe how far Finn Balor has fallen off the radar. Yeah. Carlos says hot garbage. Oh, that's great. So, Jamil says be better than SummerSlam as usual. Again, if any of you have spoilers, keep them to yourselves. A lot of folks watching don't want to hear about your spoilers. Please don't do that. Please. You guys are a good audience. Don't let me down here. Please. Just keep it to yourself, man. Please and thank you. Okay? Everybody, keep spoilers to yourself, man. I don't give them to you. Don't give them to us. For real. Don't. It's not cool. Brad says, I'll be watching paint dry. Really? You're not even going to check out TakeOver? I'm probably going to watch TakeOver. I'm just saying. So, I mean, Jim, I assumed they were going live tomorrow night. That's what I thought. But I could be wrong. Because I got people talking about they know everything here in terms of what's already happened. So, yeah. Crazy. But we'll see. No spoiler, just a prediction. There you go, Jamal. Thank you. What else we got here? Anything else on TakeOver you guys want to talk about? I like Breezango, Sandy. I always have. They're just so much fun, man. Looks like we might have a special guest appearance from the boy who just woke up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the boy. My God, you look great. Someone just woke up. So, yeah. What's going on? Go have some cereal. No. In and out, folks. In and out. So, do I think Retribution will be revealed on Sunday? The bigger question is, do I care? The answer is no, I don't care. However, we'll see what happens. It's one of the most poorly handled gimmicks that they've ever tried. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think it's pretty bad. But that's just my opinion. So, Joshua said, do I think there could have been a better card? No, not with what they're doing. No. I mean, that's what all roads were leading to is how they're handling this. So, no, I'm okay with the card. I don't have a problem with that. You know, I mean, if you're asking me if, you know, could I book it better? Nah. I've done that stuff before, that fantasy booking stuff. We probably all have. I'm sure we all have, right? I'm not going to really do that with this. I like NXT. I don't think it's exactly the same as it used to be. Jamil says, anyone been watching Impact? I've been catching some highlights. I like the stuff I've seen. I think I've told you guys this before. I covered Impact for a while, for a couple of months straight. We're talking like 7-8 weeks in a row, and covered it for a website. And I'm like, oh, By week 6, I'm out. I'm tapping. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It was just so bad to me. Okay. So many talents on that show at the time that I felt had no business being on TV. Now, that's just one guy's opinion. You could take that or leave it, right? But yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Jim says, agree, Retribution is a horrible gimmick. Might as well bring in the new NWO to destroy and demask. Yeah, I don't know. How about we just quit going back to the well and do something different, fresh? Mark says, we started early. Yes, sir, we started early. I sent out the warnings, but I don't know how many people paid attention to it. What if CM Punk is the leader of Retribution? Christopher, I don't know what to say to you about that, brother. I don't know what to say to you about that. I can see where people would think something like that, to be honest with you. But at the same time, here's what I'll say to that. You're CM Punk. You evidently are not hard up for cash. You're happy with your life. Why get back into this? Why get back into it? It's like, do you know what I mean? Why let yourself get sucked into the drama again when you don't need to? He got close with the FS1 thing, right? He got close. But like it's still not the same as working directly for Vince McMahon and WWE, right? Why would you want to get back into it? Why go back to the meat grinder? You just got out of the meat grinder. I mean, you're out of the meat grinder. You're happy. You're healed. You know, why get back into it? Why go back to the tanning bed that gave you sun poisoning? Why do it? You're okay now. You got your treatments. You're all right. Why go back? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me talking. And a takeover is going to be, I would hope that Grimes wins. That's my hope, is that Grimes wins, because I love Grimes. Because Grimes is a Carolina boy, and you got to support your own, folks. I'm sorry. But plus, I love Cameron Grimes, because I love him. He's terrible. I put Cameron Grimes over every week on this show. And if he ever watches, Cameron, what's up? Tom and NC, what's going on? You and I probably know a lot of the same people, the same. But no, I love this guy. I love him because he's just, you know, I love that crap. It's so terrible. And that's the point. It's terrible. It's supposed to be terrible, right? Cameron, you know what all right, rant time, mini rant, back to the show, okay? We've got too many guys in this business who want to be cool heels. I got to be a cool heel, Tom. No, you don't. You just got to be a heel. Your job is to be hated. Your job is to not look cool, to not have the coolest gear in the locker room, to not have the coolest moves on the roster. Your job is to be hated. Work for your heel pop and shut up about all the rest of it. God's sake. And if you think I'm wrong, last night I was been watching some Sting because I got a reason for that, right? So last night I watched a 6-man tag with Rick and Tully and Arn against Barry Windham, Sting, and Lex Luger. You know what that match was? It was on Worldwide Wrestling back in the day, right? Do you know what happened? It was like a 10-minute match. During 8 minutes of that match, you know what happened? The Horsemen got their hides handed to them. And then in the end, they got the win. Do you want to know why? Because you have to let the baby faces shine. It can't always be about heat. It can't, and it shouldn't. Despite what WWE has trained and conditioned everyone to believe, it can always be about heat. Yes, the Horsemen were cool, but when it came time to get in the ring and get bounced around, they got bounced around. Rick, Arn, and Tully, all three got bounced around like crazy. You want to know why? Because that's their jobs. Stop talking to me about cool heels. If you're a heel and I'm above that, I'm a cool. No, you're not. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. It's how I feel. My character wouldn't do that. Your character needs to get bounced around by baby faces. Now, do I mean that it's the Big Show in his prime as a heel getting bounced around by Rey Mysterio? I didn't say that, okay? But get it straight. Don't get it twisted. A heel's job is to shine the baby face. That's your job. And one day, if you get to be babyface, their job is to shine you up. You see what I'm saying? People got this stuff wrong, man. They get it really, really twisted. Key says, Grimes is awesome. He's so bad, he's good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, so what else have we got here? SummerSlam, kids. Let's talk about the SummerSlam card. I know you wanna. Let's do this. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville, hair versus hair match. Which one do I want to see get shaved? I don't. No offense against either woman. I guess they have to change it up and make it different. But hair versus hair for two women, I don't know. I would guess and say that Sonya loses. But would Sonya care? She's a tough MMA chick, right? So why would she care if she loses her hair? So technically speaking, Mandy should lose because she would care, right? So I guess Mandy's losing. I'd book it if you're asking me. I don't know if you asked me, but if you're asking me, that's what I'd say. Bayley versus Asuka SmackDown Women's Championship match. Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks versus versus Asuka. Yes, so we've got two championship matches. Asuka's in both of them. So, well, that's assuming that Asuka, beats. All right, so look. Oh, this fries my brain. You got Bayley versus Asuka for SmackDown Women's Championship. You got Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Folks, I don't know what to say to you here. It seems like a lot of messed up booking, but that's just me talking. What I'm saying to you is, what other two women could have maybe got on the card had it not been for this, or what other woman could have got on the card instead of Asuka working twice? Having said that, I'm still an Asuka fan, even though they've handled her so poorly over the past several months. I'm sorry, it's how I feel. I think they've handled her extremely poorly since Becky left. Just my take. We've got the monster Braun Strowman. They're calling him the monster, right? The monster among men, I thought is what he's called, versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt. And what's this stuff about? They're supposedly they've switched personality. It's Freaky Friday, folks. Jeez, God, whatever. Anyway, Universal Championship match. If this is your cup of tea, drink it. Okay. Apollo Crews versus MVP United States Championship match. Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in a street fight. Street Profits versus Andrade Angel Garza Raw Tag Team Championship match. And Drew McIntyre, that is, versus Randy Orton WWE Championship match. What are your thoughts on the SummerSlam? What do you guys have to say about the SummerSlam? Key says Asuka wins both belts. I could roll with that. If they'll book her better, I'll love it even more. Banks has lost on her first title defense multiple times. Has she ever successfully defended her championship? That's a good question. I mean, I guess she has. Well, no, has she? I guess she has, hasn't she? Key says Otis needs to cash in. Yes, but on whom? On whom does he cash in? I mean, I could see Otis cashing in on Braun and just being that, that little weirdo, that little big weirdo, right? Little chubby weirdo who's like got those crazy eyes and stuff, and he doesn't care. I don't know. I don't know, man. So I like him. I don't know if I love him, but Obi, what's up, man? I knew a guy named Obi. I had a class or two with a guy named Obi. True story. I bet you were thinking, no one else is called Obi. Not true. Just wondering, do you think Tessa Blanchard going NXT to the main roster? Obi, hang out to the end, bro, will you? We always do an open floor segment at the end. If you'll hang out and ask me the question again, I promise you we'll get to it. Okay? I promise you. Christopher says SummerSlam's going to suck. Yeah, we'll see. It's a bit verified. No, she hasn't successfully defended her title, if I can get it out, right? Corey says, I like the card. Well, there you go. Tell you who I like, Rhea Ripley. I'm scared of her. Just saying, I'm a little scared of her. But I like her. But I've yet to catch up on NXT, and I got to catch up on NXT. So I got to watch this match because I got to watch Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez kind of tear into each other, because that's when it comes to women's wrestling, this stuff dreams are made of right here. These two need to be a tag team all day long. All day long. Are you kidding me? And twice on Sunday. We're talking about Animal and Hawk right here, baby. That's how I'd book them. I'd book them as unstoppable. When's the last time you've seen a dominant female tag team? A dominant female tag team. Dominant female tag team. Destroy everyone put in their path like Hawk and Animal did. Roughhouse everyone. Run roughshod over everybody. When's the last time you've seen it? That's right. You never have. Do it now, baby. Book it. Book it. I'm just saying. Can we just spend the rest of the show talking about how much I love Rhea Ripley? Can we just do that? That'd be okay. That's my would that be okay face. Ready? To anyone tuning in right now, they're like, who's this guy? Tom Clark, baby. What's up? So my name's everywhere. Look. See? David says, I like her. Two good Aussie girls from South Australia. There you go, man. Let's see. Fiend puts Braun down as he's about to win. Otis cashes in. Fiend puts man up calling Otis, and he falls on Braun, pinning him and winning the title. Keith, you're killing me. Is that your prediction, man? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's different, right? Yeah, I love Rhea. I do. Bit says, how long has Dominic actually been training for? If I threw a number at you, I'd be guessing. So why not guess? Speculation is our friend, kids. Well, it's not really, but it sounded good. I would guess and say for the better part of a year he's been training, but that I could be wrong. When you say training, do you mean bumping in a ring, or do you mean growing up the son of a legend, who you constantly hear the guy talk about matches and psychology and talk about, what he did, what he was going to do, and how it was supposed to go and how it went. And for all of your life, you've absorbed every ounce of every conversation your dad's ever had about the business. Because you can't teach that in a ring, Jack. You can't teach that in a class. You can't teach that in a pro wrestling school. That's on-the-job training right there, man, whether you know it or not. You are absorbing that stuff. It's making a difference for you psychologically. That would be my guess, because Dominic, from a psychological standpoint, has looked really good. Facial features. He's very quick on his feet. He has no fear. You know what does it? What gets you to the point where you can physically charge at another grown man in the ring and have no fear is training. It's the only thing that does it. Because if you've ever seen anyone kind of fall over themselves or kind of awkward, their punches are weak, they don't really charge into the corner with much aggression, it's because they haven't had enough training, or their training hasn't stuck, okay? Because repetition is key, right? So the only thing that works in this regard is if and when, the training in question actually works. I mean, will it work? That's the question. And if it doesn't, then what are you doing in the ring? And if your heart's not in it, why are you in there to begin with? So anything else, you guys? SummerSlam is a big card. Anybody else want to talk about it? No one seems to be very interested in it. So Jamil says, I forgot Otis had that briefcase. It's easy to forget. They never hardly talk about it, do they? Mark says, if Ripley goes to the main roster, Vince will ruin her. Mark, I feel that way about every one of them, if I'm being honest. So that's why she shouldn't go. She hung out in the main roster for a bit. Remember, they did ruin her. They brought Charlotte down there and jobbed her out at Mania. I still have an issue with that. It didn't kill her. Yeah. But at the same time, she doesn't have the head of steam she had before, does she? I don't think she does. We can always come back to SummerSlam if you guys want to. It's actually the last big subject today. So Obi says, I hope Randy wins. There you go. Richard says, without fans, it just doesn't seem right. Oh, they'll have fans. They'll be digital. Amway Center, baby, Orlando, Florida. Justin, no spoilers. I don't want to hear spoilers or rumors of spoilers. Please, I'm not going to put your comment up, okay? No spoilers. This is a spoiler-free show. Don't even give me rumors. Please, I don't want to hear it. Anybody with spoilers right now, save them for yourself. Shannon, what's up? Says, I'm just waiting for AEW Dynamite on Saturday. It's going to be interesting to see. It's a big card, too. And here is the kicker. All right, so you can say, well, look, Tom, this is the real measure of how both shows could actually do without the other. NXT had a really good Wednesday running unopposed. If NXT doesn't have a really good Saturday running unopposed, then that tells you something. No, it doesn't, because it's 2 different days. It's 2 different days of the week. It's 2 different situations on TV. Here's what I would say. Let's have AEW run opposed on Wednesday night without NXT. Then you can talk to me about, and no other anything interfering. Even playing field. Give me an even playing field. Then come back to me and talk to me then about how you feel one show did over the other. Mark's asking about no Hall of Fame induction at SummerSlam. Was there supposed to be one? Mark, have you heard something about that? Richard asking about, honestly, I don't know how long Dominic's been training, but I took a guess at a year. But what I postulated on, Richard, was the fact that, you can't replace the stuff that he's absorbed after years and years of being the son of a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Conversations, watching him, his dad in the ring, picking up little nuances. Anyone that has ever watched, and I'm not the son of a Hall of Famer, but anyone that's ever watched pro wrestling from a very, very early age, and you still watch, and then you actually get into the business yourself and you start writing about it, all these things that I've done, right? And at some point, it starts to sink in. Now, here's what I don't do. I don't call myself, I'm a student of the game. I don't do that. Do you want to know why? Because I hate that phrase. Because I'm not a full-time pro wrestler. If I was a full-time pro wrestler, then I would call myself student of the game. However, I'm not, so I won't. Get it? But what I am is just, I observe. I'm an observer of the game. How about that? And I observe and analyze it. And I can see things. I used to hang out with guys that were either casual fans or diehard fans or both sometimes. And I would sit there in the middle of a match. I'm calling what's going to happen next. And they're looking at me and they're like, God, dude, I can't watch wrestling with you. And this is before I really flexed my muscles, as it were, whatever that means, online, right? But it's hard to watch wrestling with me, to be honest, because I do that sometimes. I've learned over the years to keep my mouth shut and just watch the show so I don't ruin it for anybody else, right? I don't do it intentionally. I think sometimes it'd be nice to come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. That would be cool. You know what I mean? Russell says the Hall of Fame was canceled at Mania and rescheduled. So, well, there you go, Russell. Thank you for that. I was not aware of that. Christopher says, what do you think about the U.S. title match? I like both guys. And, I listen, I have really been trying to get into what MVP is doing. I like MVP on the mic. He's very good. I don't know if I care for the name of this group, the Hurt Business, right? I could take that or leave it. I like the premise. But at the same time, if you're asking me, is it over with me? I don't think they've been doing it long enough for it to get over with me personally. And honestly, I feel like there's something missing. Can I be honest with you? I'm not sure what that something is. Here's what I think. I think they need a woman. I think they need a tough woman on their side running with them. I think if Bianca Belair was not babyface, then she would be perfect for that group. That's just my take. So, all right, folks, we are 10 minutes out from getting out of here. Ben says, hey, Tom, hey, what's up, Ben? What do you think about that whole Adam Cole? I talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, man. So, in my opinion, I don't think that McAfee's adding anything to the product, and I love Adam Cole. That's sort of where I'm coming down at. If I thought McAfee was actually genuinely bringing something to the table, I'd be honest with you and tell you that, regardless of how I felt about him as a pro athlete outside the wrestling ring. I don't know if he's bringing anything to the table, but that's just my opinion. Evidently, that company believes I'm wrong, and it's totally fine. So, all right, kids, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the one that we've promised to get to. There it is. It's the open floor. Hit me with whatever you got, baby. Whatever you got. Raw Underground title. Russell, I got one word for your Raw Underground title. Boo. Boo to that. So their solution at trying something new and different and fresh, pal, is to run a segment in which guys in an ordinary wrestling match where they ring the bell and start the match can't win in 10 seconds. But they can in this. Why? Because aren't you exposing your product? Aren't you essentially saying, Now, all the other stuff you just watched is not real. This is real. That's how it feels to me. You guys tell me if I'm crazy or what have you. It's fine if you think I'm out of my mind and insane. Yes, Christopher, Renee Young is really leaving. She is giving her notice and she is heading elsewhere. People are talking about AEW. I just don't see it. Maybe I'll be wrong. She's got many other things she can do. I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up at ESPN. Or she could end up at Fox Sports. No one's really talking about that, are they? Eric says, love the podcast. Learned some things about NWO I didn't know. When is the next one coming out? Oh, Eric. Eric's my man. Eric, you want to know why you're my man, bro? Because here's why. Eric is referring to Tom's other podcast. It's called Tom Clark's 6M podcast. And the 6M, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. It actually stands for movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. It's me and a great friend of mine named Greg Ramsey. Greg and I cover all things geek culture from those 6 areas. And we don't just cover pro wrestling. We're talking about pro wrestling, comic books, movies, TV shows. We do album deep dives. Can't wait to give those things to you. We do movie commentaries. And yes, Eric, my man, and to everyone listening and watching who's curious about the other show, immediately after we go off the air, I want you to jump over to my Facebook page. It won't be on Wrestling Rumors because this is something different, okay? Jump over to my Facebook page, and I'm going to give you the details on next week's episode. You are not going to want to miss it because it's going to be fun. I promise you. And plus, I may give you a few hints as to what's to come down the road, Eric. And Eric, thank you for your question. Eric's my favorite fan today. I said it. I don't care. Christopher says, didn't you do one about the Horsemen? No, the first episode is the NWO, but we didn't do it specifically about the Horsemen versus the NWO. You heard the soundbite. Chris, if you want to know the full details, download the episode. Jamel says, I think heel faction should have a stranglehold on championships. I think that's good to a certain point. Do you want to know why, Jamel? Because the babyface needs to be on the hunt. The hero should be on the hunt. They should be on the chase. Because when the hero is on top, a lot of the drama is sucked out of the angle. Okay? It's sucked right out of the angle. Hardcore. Right out. Okay? Because if the hero's on top, well, then what? Oh, well, Tom, the heels are coming after him. Yeah, okay. I guess. I mean, to me, it's more, this is just me talking, okay? To me, there's more drama there. There's more stuff going on, and it's more satisfying to me to watch this kind of thing when there's a heel on top. You have a Ric Flair on top, and the baby faces are chasing him, okay? And every time he's in a match, he's this close to losing the title, and he just happens to pull out a win because that makes you come back next week. That's the point, is getting these people to come back next week. Shannon, we talked about AEW having fans. I said I'm of 2 mindsets about this. On one hand, I don't agree with it because I think it is pretty dangerous. On the other hand, I say, are we supposed to always just live in fear and just not try to get back to some sense of normalcy? I'm not on either side because I can see both viewpoints. If you're asking what am I doing in terms of me and my house are staying home and we're being safe as much as we can. But that's just me talking, okay? By the way, my wife has tested negative now, so she's all good. I know I kind of dropped that on you guys last week. I just thought I'd give you an update in case anybody was curious. Ray, you'll always be a favorite, brother. Do you think there will be a WWE draft this year? Ray, I have 2 things to say. Yes. And 2, unfortunately, because they don't need to. This company's gotten a lot smaller because of the COVID thing, haven't they? I mean, a lot smaller. I don't think they need to draft the brand split anymore. I just don't think they need to. I think that the roster should be able to go wherever they want to because they kind of do that now. Go wherever they want to, challenge for whatever title they want to. If, so-and-so shows up on Raw from SmackDown and says, you suck, I'm gonna punk you out. I want that belt. Okay, let's fight for it. That should be how it goes. Let it go. Let the brand split go. That's just my opinion. So why have a draft? To answer your question, I think they will. Cherie, we have talked a little bit about the Thunderdome already. Here's how I'll answer your question, Cherie. Go look at the pics. There's some pics online of the Thunderdome. It's a bunch of video screens, and it's let me tell you who's doing a pretty good job of this is the NBA. I think they're doing a pretty good job of it because the crowd noise at the NBA game sounds great. It doesn't sound too much. It doesn't sound, like it's overpowering the game at all. It sounds like there's actually fans in the building. I'm pretty impressed with it, to be honest with you. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Ricardo, what's up, man? Do you think Roman will return this year? No. Would it shock me if he showed up Sunday? No. Wouldn't shock me. Here's why. On Raw and SmackDown and on NXT, there are people in those seats. Now, yeah, it's the talents who've been tested and stuff, right? But if they were going to bring him back, then the Amway Center would be the place to bring him back at because there's no people in the crowd. There's no one out there. But listen, you're Roman Reigns. I would assume if you're Roman Reigns, you have a pretty healthy bank account. I think it sucks that he's not been able to do anything at all. I don't know if that's his by design or by his choice or what, but he's been very quiet over the past several months, right? So the fact that there's been nothing happening, I don't know, which is kind of odd to me. You're Roman Reigns. You have a new baby. You have a family to support, and you've got a healthy bank account. Why would you want to? I mean, other than you miss the game, and I get that. Trust me when I tell you, I miss the game right now, and I'm no Roman Reigns. Believe that. But why would you want to? Why would you want to come back other than the fact that you missed it? Because you don't really need to. You don't really need to. Shane said, "What do you think about indie wrestlers jumping companies because of COVID?" How have you had any wrestlers leave HVW? Well, Shane, it's a different thing for us in HVW. It's different because in HVW, no one's signed to a contract. So they can go work wherever they want to. Basically, it's you're sort of a pay-as-you-go kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You take good faith bookings and you promise to be there, and when you show up, you get paid. And that's how it works on the indie circuit for the most part. Not all the time, but for the most part. The way we do it, at least, that's how it works. You're paid the night of the show. You're paid basically before your match. That's how we in HVW handle it. You get paid ahead of time. You don't get paid from the door. You get paid before you work that night, which I feel is the right thing to do. So that's what we do. So, they can come and go as they please. Jamel says, do you have Mox winning? If it's me, I don't put the belt on MJF yet because I don't think you need to. But that's me. And this was the guy just earlier talking about you don't need a baby face on top. It should be a heel. I think they go either way with it, and I'd be fine. I'd be perfectly happy either way. Do I think there'd be any shocking appearance on SummerSlam or Payback? Perhaps, Cherie. They've got enough time to do it. And they've got who would be Cherie, let me pose the question to you. Who would be a shocking enough appearance for you to care? Because I don't know if I've got one for you. What do you think of them bringing Park to WWE from TNA as AJ's helper? I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a naturally talented guy. I think he's a very entertaining cat. Do I care for him in this role? Meh. That's kind of my answer, Mark. I'm sorry it's a non-answer for you. Ray says, what do you think of the Shawn Michaels promo? I like Shawn. I don't think Shawn Michaels needs to be on TV. I'm going to get some heat for that one, right? I just don't think it's necessary. I just don't know why Randy Orton needs to drop Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring in 2020. I just don't. I hate to sound like that guy, and I'm not trying to be that guy. Trust me, I'm not. I just don't know why. Why are we looking at that right now? Why am I looking at Finn Balor in the ring with Velveteen Dream? With Finn Balor should be so much higher on the card. And listen, kids, here's something we've talked about before. The real question here is not just why is Finn not getting anything? The question is Finn happy with what he's getting? Because you and I can sit back all day long and talk about a guy should or shouldn't be here, here, or here, and be right in our belief. What really matters at the end of the day is how that talent feels. What is he happy with? If Finn's happy doing what he's doing, go with God. You know when you're going to know? When Finn's out of that company, because that's the only time you get the truth. Because you don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's why. You just don't do it, right? It's silly. We'll never hear the truth about Finn until he's out of that company. Why is there CM Punk return to give people bait to watch? Brian, if I knew how to answer that, I would answer it. I mean, here's what I'll say to that. People love Punk. They love him. Do you want to know why? Because he left on his own terms. Because take out this in the show, but I'm gonna rant for like 2 minutes. Be patient. When you take out the fact that it's a pro wrestling company, it's an entertainment icon, it's multi-platform, global brand, and he was on your TV each and every week. Take all that out of the equation. Just forget it if you can, and put it in the context of a job. No matter what you do for a living, man, or what any of you do for a living, put Punk in that scenario and think about, all he wanted was a raise. He wanted that promotion. He wanted that corner office. He wanted to be taken seriously. He knew he was good at his job, and all he wanted was recognition for it. He wasn't asking to be the head of the company, but he wanted recognition for the work he was putting in. He felt he wasn't getting it. He felt that other guys around him were getting paid more than he was, and considering time served and effort put in, he wasn't getting what he deserved. Okay? Now, add all that to the fact that, he's hurt and he's sick, but yet they wanted to be at work anyway. But yet he tells them he feels bad, but they tell him, man, you got to kind of be at work anyway. Okay. Are you sure you feel okay? Because if not, you really need to be at work. And every time he has a surgery, they call him at home to say, ready to come back to work? Now, put all of that into a CM Punk working in a grocery store, working in a garage, working for Walmart. Does your opinion change now? Does it change? And if it does, ask yourself this. Why did people get so upset at him for trying MMA? They made fun of him. They berated him for it. They viciously went after this guy. Oh, who you think you are? You're not cut out for this. But in the otherworld scenario that I just pointed out to you, if that same ordinary, everyday 9-to-5 regular working Joe, working class stiff CM Punk went to another line of work, would you say, guess what? You walked out of Walmart, dude. Who do you think you are? You can't go, be in a restaurant, be a cook. No one would say that because it's preposterous. Does it make more sense now? That's how I look at it. I don't look at it in pro wrestling terms, man, but that's me. Do you have any idea who face Bayley and Sasha at Payback for women's tag team titles? I'd love to see Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So, yeah. All right, look, Sal, I don't know about your comment about Buff being high. I don't know. Listen, I'll check it out. We'll update you, I'm sure, on Wrestling Rumors as the week goes on. All the best to Buff Bagwell during this very difficult time. We hope he recovers and gets his life right if that's indeed what happened, okay? So, all right, folks, we're going to get out of here. Listen, before you split and start clicking off, click over to my Facebook page, okay? Click over to my Facebook page. We're going to give you details on episode 2 of next week's Tom Clark's 6M podcast. The minute I go off of here, I'm jumping over to my Facebook page. Don't miss it. In the meantime, thanks everybody for hanging out. As always, thanks everybody for tuning in, for showing your support and your love. It's always greatly appreciated, man. I believe we're going to get out of here now. And again, I tell you, please come over to my Facebook page immediately after I sign off of here and after you click off. Just head on over there and we'll give you all the details, everything you need to know about what's coming up next week, and maybe a little bit more than that also. All right, man, let's get out of here. Thanks again for watching. All right, we're out. Thanks again, man. We'll see you next time. Tom Clark's Main Event.